My name's Nadika Vizzy, and I started a brand called Naked Love Coach. And the word naked gets so much attention, but really what the focus for me is removing all my layers, my blocks and my barriers to true, authentic, raw, naked love. That's where I came from. That's also where all of you have come from. So I guide people on how to really remove all those blocks and layers and to connect to their inner guide and to love the universe and their interactions with other humans through loving themselves and seeing the perfection in the other person as well. Yeah, so I will work with couples as well, but I believe that we're all individuals in relationships. So anytime that I'm finding there is a challenge in my partnership, actually the challenges and the block usually stems from something that I'm challenged with within myself. So my partner is just sort of my mirror and the lovely person that brings it to my attention, but it's actually for me to look within myself and sort of look at, what's happening for me here? Because any upset is my upset. And it's just an opportunity for me to look at it. It's not good or bad, it's just a neutral. Something to be curious about. I am a hopeless romantic. And I think that when I'm in a relationship, in a partnership, I find that's the time that I grow the most, the fastest, the biggest, and I'm really figuratively peeling off my layers because I have that beautiful teacher that's right in my space that's having me look at things and actually holding me accountable to looking at it instead of when I'm on my own and I'm single. And if I'm just kind of casually dating, I get to sort of keep my skeletons in the closet and always show my best self. But it's an optical illusion. Is it really my best self that I'm showing? You know what? I don't know that I ever got spiritual. I think I was born spiritual. How I sort of I think I grew up in a home with a Buddhist practice, so I've had sort of the exposure to meditation, though I didn't take up meditation up until later in my adult life, but I was around it, and I was around the teachings and the practices, and I feel like somewhere it's programmed in the back there, and even though I may not have actively thought I was practicing it, I think I was practicing it in my life, and I'm just sort of honing it in, tweaking it, mastering it in my personal life and feeling more at peace with where I'm at and in life and my contribution in this world, my purpose. I'm feeling really, really more aligned than I ever have before, and it's through adversities and it's through the challenges that I'm really learning to blossom into the true essence of who I am. One thing I find a little bit different in my approach is my goal in life is to not give advice. Because who am I really I'm not any more advanced than anyone else in life. But what I do want to guide people in doing is connecting to their higher self, their inner guide, because all of us are true expert on what feels the best for me, what feels right for me, and I don't know what feels right for the other person. So I guide people to really look within themselves and to trust their inner guide, and that's their higher self, their higher being, to find what brings them true joy, true bliss, and do more of that. And if that is hanging out on the couch watching movies with my partner, then great. If it's hiking mountains, traveling the world, eating food, whatever it is, I don't have to do it in my partnership, but I could do it with myself, I could do it in my partnership, but it's always guiding someone to how they feel. And that power of connecting to that inner guide within me actually just makes me bigger and stronger in this world. So the problems become smaller, the challenges become smaller, and I'm tapping into my bigger, powerful inner guide. So the answer is always within me. Yes, myself included. It's not a perfect science for me just yet, but the knowing and once I've felt that connection, and that comes through meditation and just affirmations. I do daily affirmations, I do meditations, and meditations, I want to put a little blurb out there about meditations because I know that that word intimidates many people, and for many years it intimidated myself as well. And I think that sometimes people think that meditation means you have to sit still for an hour and think about nothing. But really, it's for me, I've learned to just do it a little bit at a time until it starts to become comfortable, because it is uncomfortable sometimes when it's something I'm not used to, just like anything else would be. I know, like, even if I'm doing a sport or something like that, it's at first it feels a little uncomfortable, and then it becomes more comfortable as I start to practice. So even if I'm just sitting in stillness and focusing on my breathing for a minute a day, and then I do that, and then I extend it to 2 minutes, and then keep sort of progressing from that. And again, really check in with yourself, whatever feels good. If it never gets to meditating an hour a day, that's okay. There's no right or wrong with how to do this. This is about how you feel, how I feel. So if I am feeling at peace and in love and bliss for 5 minutes a day, and that's all I'm ever going to find in that, that's okay. I think it's actually really powerful to meditate together. It's really spiritual. There's a lot of things that can come up. And I think one of the cool things that really bond partnerships is being vulnerable and sharing, hey, this is what came up for me today, and expressing it to the other person. Compassion is a huge component to a successful partnership, and truly understanding why someone is reacting in the way that they're reacting based on their previous experiences in life. So in a partnership through a meditation, a lot of stuff can come up, and the sharing process, I find, with my partner is a really important part of that. Finding that true compassion and understanding and true love for that other person, like seeing that they have gone through adversities in their life which has created the core beliefs and the experiences and their reactions to life the way that they are showing up. And you can kind of work on the corrections with that, because sometimes I react to things and I'm not the best version of myself. Then I get to kind of observe, be curious, look at, hey, what was in this for me? And then transform that so that if it were to ever happen again, I get to experience it in a new way. I think, well, okay, so I hate the word advice, but in my experience, if I know for sure that you and I are the same in this universe and that we're eternally connected, then I know that in any partnership, whether it be romantic or not, that you and I are always doing a dance. You and I are always doing a dance, which means if someone is acting a certain way and I'm getting a reaction out of it, I'm reacting a certain way, I'm usually calling for that. Energetically, I'm getting someone to act in a certain way so that I could believe something about myself to be true. Does that make sense, or do I need to go in a little further on that one?
I think that's good. I think that's good.
So, knowing that, and knowing that someone is always whole and complete on their journey, even if they're not being their best self in that moment, that I can see the love and light that I know is in there, even though the blinds are a little bit closed in this moment. It's the role reversal. They're going through something, and I can be compassionate and give love when someone's crying for love, and I hope the same in the partnership. And I think that's sort of like my one barometer where I keep remembering to check in and see that person in love and light, the same as you and I. If I was to give advice, I think one of the biggest things I find as adults, I used to be a primary school teacher, and I absolutely love going to work every day and watching these beautiful spirits just being and experiencing life with such curiosity and having so much fun in everything that they do. And I really want to encourage adults to tap into that inner child and just have fun, and to just express love and life, and be curious and ask questions and be light in life, And that's, you know, that's sort of something that I'm continuously practicing as well. Sometimes I get into my, oh, I have to be an adult and be serious, but it's a little overrated. Let's get out there, let's have fun, let's be curious about each other, and when our energies are drawn to each other, it is for a reason. And I want to be curious and go, why is this person come into my life? Because I know that it wasn't by mistake.
So how do we get a hold of you?
nakedlovecoach.com, www.nakedlovecoach.com. I'm on all platforms of social media, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. What else is there? Snapchat. You could email me at info@nakedlovecoach.com. So I'm available for one-on-one coaching sessions, and I'd love for you to follow my blog and all other blogs that I put out on my website and social media.
And you also do it remotely.
I do, yes. So if you're not in Vancouver or in Canada, or you're traveling, I'd be happy to do coaching sessions through Zoom.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun.